For narrow is the kingdom of God, for so many find it. Or is it, for narrow is the path of God, or of God's kingdom, for so few find it. I believe that's how it's written, or that's how I've heard it when it comes to biblical texts. How you guys doing? It's your main man, AJ Smith, coming to you guys with another quick video. And just so that you guys know that I'm no longer going by the self-paid prince. I believe it's time for a change. So if you guys haven't noticed, I've actually changed myself to I Am Ra. That's capital I, lowercase a-m, capital R, lowercase a-h. Now some of you are probably wondering, why did I come up with this name, or how I came up with this name? Well, I have nothing against the self-paid prince. I love it, but I do believe it's time for me to stop going by that name. I believe I've grown out of it mentally. I believe it's time for me to try and develop some new habits along with a new mindset. And like they say, perspective is everything. So I went on ahead and looked into it. I'm like, you know something? According to African ancient Egyptian culture, Ra was supposed to be the sun god, the god of all things. If you don't understand where I'm going with, look into it yourself. Look into the ancient Egyptian philosophies of Kemet Heru, or Osiris, along with the mother known as Isis, and then look into the man known as Ra, the sun god. And I figured, you know something? I definitely need a new way of looking at things and a new name that actually suits me. Plus, I have to give it to my nephew, because he always calls me Uncle Ra. And I'm like, you know something? That name actually kind of speaks volumes to me. It speaks volumes, it speaks vibration, it speaks heavy. I do like being called Uncle Ra. So then I came up with the name Ra, but then again I thought about the affirmation, I am. And then in the biblical text, it says, I am that I am. So I thought about it. I am Ra. I like the sound of that. I am Ra. So from now on, I am no longer going by self-paid prince, although I do consider myself the self-paid because I am not afraid to invest in myself. I'm not afraid to invest in my own education, which most of you should look into. Invest in your own education, not just spiritually, but financially, also physically, because we all need to keep our bodies up. Like I said in my last video, I am also going to the gym so I can go on ahead and try to pump some iron. Gotta keep the body up. Gotta keep that health up. Health is wealth, and wealth comes in more than just one way than just the money. Just for the record. But I'm looking at things from more than one perspective. Not just from my own, although my perspective is the one I'm going to stick with. I have to think about the perspective of others around me. Not just the people I know, but the people that are going to be watching this video. You, all the viewers. So if you like what I'm saying, if you like the fact that I'm not just talking about financials, but I'm also talking about spiritual nature, like, share, and subscribe. And leave me a comment down below and let me know that you have something spiritual that you want to add or share with me. I look forward to hearing about it. This channel is not just going to be talking about, of course, the financial parts and how you can invest in all the many ways. But it's also going to be talking about the spiritual aspects and why we should be investing, not just for now, but for the long term. Like I said, my own philosophy. Live in the moment, but think for the future. Right now we're living in the moment physically, the metaphysical world right now. But we can also think for the future, which means spiritually we want to keep ourselves intact. It's not just about now, but in the future. Financially, we want to build as many streams of income as we possibly can for the now and for the future. Do you agree? I'm sure you do, but prove it to me by leaving a comment down below and liking, subscribing, sharing with anybody else that needs to know about this. Okay? I'm going to keep on bringing out videos as often as I can, because people need to hear the truth within the truth. And by truth, I don't just mean Christianity. I'm talking about the truth behind Christianity from everything that I've researched. And I'm still researching to this day and will forever research to the future. But the main reason I went on ahead and thought I'd go on ahead and make this video is because a lot of people are definitely missing the point. I had a very amazing discussion with one of my bros, and he was talking about how the disciples of Jesus himself says, when will the end times come? When? Now, what got me in this specific case scenario is that his disciples were asking when, which means that there's a time limit. Now, time is of the essence. Time normally moves fast when you're having fun, and when you're bored, time moves slow. Can any of you reason with me on this? Can any of you agree with me on this? If you can, leave a comment down below. I look forward to hearing what you're saying. I look forward to hearing that you understand where I'm going with this, because I'm sure you do. When you're at work, time moves fast because you're always busy. But when you don't want to be there and you're bored, time moves slow. Does that make any sense? When you're playing a video game, and like I said in my last video, life is definitely like a video game. Time moves fast because you're in the moment and you're having fun, and you're either trying to live for that moment while trying to reach a different level, or you're dying over and over and you're getting tired of it. But getting back to the subject, I brought up a point of here are all the signs that you need to be aware of. Now, most people only think about time being of the essence. But when something specific is about to happen, whether it's about you, the economy, or even your financials or your family, there are specific signs that you need to watch out for that you may miss because you're only thinking about the timing. But I do remember a passage going back to the biblical text where Jesus himself said, all of these things will happen which will prepare you for the end times. This will happen, this will happen, this will happen, and this will happen. Which means that the end of the world is nigh, or now. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. You'll have to excuse me, I'm just going off the top of my head. I'm going off memory right now from certain videos that I have seen in the past leading up to now, along with certain things in the good book. I do need to look back into the good book and make sure that my information I'm sharing with you is accurate. But I'm sure that that's close to what was said in the good book. And if I'm correct, please leave me a comment down below. If you can tell me the exact chapter and verse in the biblical text where it says this, I'll look it up as fast as I can. I'm going to do it anyway, but this will let me know that you guys are on the same page with me and you don't mind following along with me on this journey. Because like I said, it's not just a financial journey, it's a spiritual one as well. And I am not a big fan of Christianity because of its early history and its beginning, especially finding out that it is a carbon copy of African spirituality. If you don't believe me, look into it. There is research to be done. I've done some research myself. But knowing this lets me know that there's so much more to look into and there's so much more to discover. Life is nothing more than chapters, outside of it just being a game that we're all freestyling through. I'm gonna leave it there for right now. But if you are on the same page as me, comment down below, subscribe, because these are topics that I believe we definitely need to look into. Down below, there are a bunch of links. One being to Robinhood, get your free stock, one of 3, up to anywhere between $1 to $100. M1 Finance, throw in $100, and then you get your free stock. And then there's Webull, throw in $100, get your free stock right off the back. Subscribe, comment down below. I would love to hear your input. You guys have a great day and have a great night on this Monday night, July 19th. Love, peace. Namaste.